They're going to stay conservative, run the ball here on third down.
Here's Richardson. He takes it in for his first NFL touchdown. And Pittman takes it inside the 20, the 10, towards the end zone. Touchdown on 2nd and 28. The Colts capitalize. Richardson to Pittman, 39 yards.
Hey, good evening, everybody. We are kicking with the crew. Matt won't be in with us tonight, dealing with a little bit of sickness. And excuse the name and my little slow start there to open the intro. But it was the Zack and Damon show, and I happened to be able to make it. And so, we are kicking with the crew. We're going to get into tonight's show. We don't really have a planned subject, but we're going to be talking about all of the draft, get any questions from Colts fans, anything that's going on, and just discuss some things, some players we like in the draft, what anybody else likes. But how you boys doing tonight? How the weekend going?
Doing good. Doing good.
Doing good. Enjoying a weekend off, kind of relaxing. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday.
I got a weekend off?
Yeah, I had to use PTO to get it. But spending it with the old lady. It's her birthday tomorrow, so.
There we go. My son's birthday was today, so we celebrated last week, had a party for everybody, and then we just celebrated his birthday today as a family and got to take out the kids and stuff. But first things first, man. The draft, man, it's been legit and crazy. Just saw receivers, quarterbacks, and running backs today. We all were talking off screen in the background, but anything you guys want to get this jumped off with and start with? Actually,
I like defense.
Go ahead.
I like defense this draft. That's what I'm feeling like, with confidence. If that makes sense, defense I have more confidence in. I think translating over to the actual league versus what I've seen just offensively so far in the combine. Granted, the combine is going to be the combine, but that's how I feel so far.
Yeah,
defense,
I was just about to say.
Go ahead, DeMarco.
Go ahead.
Defense, I feel like has separated itself just because there's more definitive roles. Who are the more definitive, better first round picks, athletes are, and it's noticeably different. But it also is the underwear Olympics. So guys running around, running 40s and skin tight clothes and all that. Take what you want. It all comes down to tape. But I do feel like the depth and the star power of this draft is on defense more so than offense this year.
Yeah, I was just about to I was gonna so I wasn't on the defensive side because I know see Damon's name there. Yeah, Mike Dawson's for today, but that's Damon, our co-host, and Zach at the bottom there. But he said, I know y'all won't receiver, and he went on the defensive side of the ball. But I was just going to talk about that Xavier Worthy 4.21 breaking the record. Did you guys have any thoughts on that one? We were talking about it a little bit in the chat.
And let's not start getting negative with him either and comparing him to John Ross. Xavier Worthy was
that's not here to defend that
Xavier Worthy was a very, very good college receiver for a very good Texas team for now 3 years. It had a lot of offers for a lot of money to transfer last year, and he chose to stay at UT. So he has to put a little bit of weight on his frame. I think he comes in at 165. He weighed in at the combine, but he's a good receiver, and it's cool to watch history be made. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Again, I don't like the John Ross comparison because that's the low hanging fruit. I mean, dude's freakishly fast. I think DeMarco in the off screen said he was Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, his comp was Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah. So that's cool. If whoever gets him, if he ends up being Deshaun Jackson, then you got my hair on my face. Look good for the camera. Then you've got a stud. You've got a guy who can be a one receiver for a couple of years. But I like his teammate. This is a perfect segue. We're talking about Texas receivers. Give me A.D. Mitchell all day, every day.
Underutilized.
100%. Great route runner, incredible route runner. I think perfect complement to a guy like Pittman Jr. and what Indianapolis wants to do. And you could probably get him in the second round. I mean, unless he goes off. But even if the Colts trade down, I would be perfectly happy with taking him in the first round, trading down. Like, to me, he's receiver 4 in this draft. You have your big Malik Neighbors, Harrison Jr., Rome Dugier, and then I'm going A.D. Mitchell. I think he's that good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just thought it was crazy to see his speed, and I know some people comment on his size and his weight and stuff like that, and everything's not all about speed, but there's always different comparisons. So some people can say the John Ross, but I myself can sit there and just describe it as, what about the Deshaun Jackson? You know, when you have that type of speed and the same type of size and stuff like that, you know, you never know how a receiver is going to work out. So I think it's better to just give him the benefit of the doubt and see how he works. And it is about scheme fit and where they play and stuff like that. And
Bingo.
Conversation with some other people as well. Some people thought his draft stock could move up. He could move to a first round pick. But I still think because of his size, he can stay in the second or third round, which would be a safer bet because then it's not like, hey, just because of his speed, we got this guy coming in to be our number one. No.
Right.
Get him to the right team, right scheme, right fit.
My issue with Adonai Mitchell, and I know there's a lot of underutilization, but in my opinion, in Sark's offense, what he runs, he had many opportunities to separate himself from his teammates, and I just never saw it. And I watched every UT game this season. And I like I said, I don't think his usage rate was nearly as high as Xavier Worthy's or even Jatavian Sanders or even some of the running backs out the backfield. But I just never saw something to me that jumped out and saw him really separate himself from teammates. Now, that's a risk you're willing to take in the second or third round. Hey,
are you talking about
Adonai Mitchell. Mitchell.
Oh, Adonai Mitchell. Okay.
You know, and you got to remember, that's why he transferred originally. He transferred originally for more of an opportunity, and I still just didn't see it over the top. So this is my fear when we start getting into this combine is we start getting impressed by this type of stuff, like Zach called it. So that's where I'm kind of like iffy, my opinion. And I know we're going to talk about this a million more times before the draft. For me, if we're going to go receiver and it's going to be available, I want a 100% lock superstar, Marvin Harrison Jr., O'Dunes, or Malik Neighbors. That's my opinion. That's how it's going to stick. If not, go defense. That's where I'm going to stop.
Yeah, man, that's totally fair. I think there's just so many weapons inside this draft class on pretty much every side of the ball, no matter where you look. I was telling Zach in the background before you hopped in there that I am just so indecisive with everybody or every position or person that I want in this class. Like every single day I'll see something new or see something different. I'm like, yeah, give me that guy. Or yeah, give me that guy. You can take it anywhere from Dallas Turner, Quayon Mitchell, Adonai Mitchell. You can take it to Arnold, Terrion Arnold. You know, it's just so many different draft picks that you can take it to, or players that you can take it to in this draft. That it's just everywhere you look, you have a piece. Now, I know we had a few conversations before, and we're going to get to this comment here by Jacob. Appreciate you coming in. He's one of the guys from the Colts chat that I'm in. That where are you guys at? Because so many Colts fans have been high. I think we had a little bit of discussion before about it, but so many want to take Brock Bowers with the 15th overall pick. Tight end out of Georgia. Where are you guys at with it?
Who gets taken before him? Who's left on the board? Why are we in that situation? I mean, there's this. Okay, here's the question I have: Why is that the guy that Colts Nation is choosing to question in target? Is it because he's projected to be at 15? Is that why? Are we the first team that's capable of taking a tight end? I think the biggest issue with our team over the last 4 years is we don't know how to use tight ends. We just saw it improve this year, so I don't see the point of splurging on something like that. Where I mean, we could splurge on something. I'm not going to go there with it. Zach, you go ahead. I was going to say something dumb. I'm not even going to go there with it.
DeMarco gave me this stat. DeMarco gave me this stat, and it's the nail that I've been driving home. In 15 to 20 years of the NFL draft, any tight end that's been taken in the first round, one has been worth a damn. That's C.J. Hawkinson, T.J. Hawkinson, and he's not even been drafted he's not even with the team that originally drafted him. He got traded from Detroit to Minnesota. And I feel like if you commit to drafting a tight end in the first round, you're saying we're building our entire passing game around a tight end. And unless that tight end, in my opinion, is Antonio Gates and or Travis Kelce type of production, it's a bust. He's a bust. A first round pick you don't put on a tight end. There's positional value. Like that matters. What positional value is does he sack the quarterback? Does he block the quarterback? Is he a quarterback? Or does he intercept the quarterback? Those guys rank higher, in my opinion, than any tight end. I wouldn't even be mad if the Colts had the first overall pick and picked a receiver. I wouldn't even be mad at that. But if they were to take a tight end in the first round, no.
That's a Grigson move.
Yeah, if we take a tight end in the first round, Ballard better pack his bags. That's all I'm saying. Pack your bags.
Honestly, guys, I think if Grigson was the GM, this would be the draft that we try and trade up for Joe Alt. Like, I think that'd be something that we do in this draft. Like that's so funny.
The former offensive lineman in me wouldn't be mad at that. Like I would be happy with that pick.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are gonna get the vibe that like I hate Brock Bowers or something. I even told some people that like I hate Georgia, but that I tried to explain that like it's nothing that I have against Brock Bowers. It's nothing that I have personally against him. It's kind of the same thing where I was going last year with Will Levis, and it's just a situational thing where it's like to me, you don't take a tight end over a pass rusher. You don't take a tight end over a cornerback. You don't take a tight end over a receiver, and so. Now if we were to trade back to like 22 or something, and then we take Bowers or something like that, I know I'm just saying like it's not that I hate the kid, you know, I just don't like feel like that's the need. I feel like that's just something that's not necessarily, and it's not like he's gonna run a 4.3 to where he's running away from people and stuff like that. And so a lot of people say it makes you more explosive, yada yada yada. And it's just like I don't feel like that's the way. People said the same thing about Kyle Pitts when he was coming out. You could put him out receiver basically. How's that working out for Atlanta? Not really so well.
When they had a quarterback, when Matt Ryan was, that dude before he got the noodle arm and came to Indianapolis, he was a dog for that 1 year. And then Matt Ryan got the case of the noodle arm and came to Indianapolis, and since then
then he had a couple injury issues. And that was just like, what do you do? And so my thing is even last year, the first tight end off the board, like I sent to you guys earlier, was Dalton Kincaid. And everybody talks about Sam Laporta being on the Lions. Like he wasn't the first tight end off the board.
And to be fair, I thought Dalton Kincaid was going to be a beast.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And he went 25. He went 25. So like that's just where I'm at with Bowers. Just want to jump in that to a little bit because I know a lot of Colts fans. That's a big one for them.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm going defensive end, cornerback, or wide receiver over the tight end position. Just where I'm at with it. But I know Damon wants to get into defense a little bit, and Jacob here is commenting here. I believe we're going to spend on defense. Why keep getting young when you can go spend on a veteran free agent? So to that point. I believe the veteran that he may be alluding to is Snead.
He got franchise tag.
Yeah, but we can trade for him is the point of what a lot of people were saying. I personally don't like the fact that he's a primary man-to-man corner. You got to give up draft capital, and then you got to pay him. So 3 things that I just don't really feel like fit the Colts to be able to utilize their capital and stuff like that. But I do believe we are going to spend on this defense. My thoughts were if I could get every move that I would absolutely love in this draft, it would be to be number 1, get Brian Burns in free agency. This would probably be my 3 keys.
Are you going to walk through who you would bring back first too, just to kind of paint the picture? Because we got some heavy hitters in free on our own that we have to bring back first. So would you go through that first and then do that? Okay,
we can definitely do that. I don't know how much we will get in that today. I mean, if you guys want to, I mean, we're just having a conversation about it. I know we'll probably have our free agent thing. Right. Like me personally, if I had to put our free agencies out to who I would sign or whatever, it'd probably be Kenny, Big Grove, Michael Pittman Jr., I'd probably just leave it there and leave the rest as to maybe, maybe not. Then I'm bringing in Brian Burns. That's who I want to come in and secure my pass rush. No, I got a secure pass rusher that can close out games for me. First overall pick, I will go. Hopefully, Terrion Arnold is there. Quayon Mitchell. Give me a cornerback that I know is going to come in, compete, and can be a starter day one. And then round 2, I would hope that I can get Adonai Mitchell. That would be my 3 keys to pretty much making this team more explosive in every front that we can. And then outside of that, I think I did say Big Grove. I don't know how many other defensive players I'd try and keep, but I think there's plenty of names out there that we can go try and secure. Because also I'm a big fan of Jalen Johnson from Chicago, so that'd be another name that I'd likely try and see if I can spend some cash on to get him to come in as well. So if we can bring in Brian Burns and Jalen Johnson, we might be able to draft all offense in this draft. So what do you guys think about that and think about spending on defense and a little bit of that?
For me, I want Grover back. I would love Brian Burns. But I brought this up with DeMarco. I agree with Jacob. If you're going to spend in free agency, if you're going to go get a dude, go get Snead. Pay him. Go trade the capital, because you can line him up on one half of the field and say, we know they're not going to throw it over there. We're not. Like, they're just not. So then that allows you to rotate everything, disguise everything. You essentially have what we had with Vontae Davis. You ain't got to worry about it because the dude's clutch. So take care of that, and then go out and get your Bryce Huff, your smaller guys, your multiple smaller plug-and-play guys. And then if you, in the draft, if you want to spend on offense, spend on offense. If you want to re-sign Grove and bring him back for run defense, you can do that. But the way I see it, there's two Cinderellas in this free agency class, and that's Danielle Hunter, whatever his name is. I think it's Daniel Hunter. Mm-hmm. And Snead. And the way I see it is, I'm not going to pay Snead, or I'm not going to pay Hunter because he's on the wrong side of 30. But I'm going to pay Snead big bucks because you put him on one half the defense. Yeah, I've got no problem giving up a mid-round, first-round pick to a team that's receiver needy, and we got a guy who can carry his own and shown he's probably worth the money. To me, that's proven. That's legit playmaker status. And when guys like that are available, championship teams that want to win championships make those types of moves.
Yeah, I'm worried about him just being a more primary man-to-man corner.
That's where I was going with it.
I don't think it fits us. Like, imagine he comes in, we pay him big money, and then all Gus does is put him in zone. He plays man every once in a while.
That's on coach. That's on Steichen to be like, bro, you're playing man-to-man all game on this side with safety help.
Yeah, but
we all know it's not going to happen.
We've already been building this team to be a zone team. We'll play man-to-man a little bit, but when you have a scheme,
you're a press man. You allow him to play press man on that side.
That's got Nominee Asamoah written all over it to me.
Exactly. And then it's like, just look at the situation that we had a few times this year with God damn it.
Flowers.
Rodney Thomas.
Yeah.
And on the Puka Nacua situation where they couldn't communicate, and boom, he's wide open in the middle of the field, where
yards.
Snead has to come over into a new scheme and work with new younger players. And I'm not saying he can't. Like, I would love if he could go in and get this done, but I don't think the fit is there. I'd prefer to go just spend money on a Jalen Johnson who already plays zone. He's in the Eberflus system, which is very similar to Gus. He's playing a lot of zone. I just think the similarity is there. I wouldn't be mad at it, but I tell you right now, I'd be scared as hell of the fit.
I get it. Fit's important, but I just don't think anybody else in free agency has that type of impact, if that makes sense. Like, and guys like that just don't grow on trees, man. That's why everyone wants like 3 really good corners.
We could always flip a draft pick for PS2.
Broncos, he's not for sale. Broncos ain't getting rid of him. Bro, that'd be incredible. But he's another man-to-man guy. They don't play.
But
They
I
don't
think
play zone.
he played a little bit of zone.
Yeah, they played a mixture of
Yeah.
covers and Denver.
Specifically his rookie season, he played a little bit more. But I think we're actually all on the same page. And I want to get to Joshua's point here because we all like this guy too.
Yeah, I was just about to say we all just want that proven elite cornerback that we
Right.
know we can defend upon.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. I think we are.
Yeah, Damon, I don't know if you mind if you let me jump in here on this
Hop
one
in.
real quick. Yeah, because this is a huge one for me, man, and appreciate you, Joshua. I see you said that you love our show here, love our show, and thanks for it and whatnot. We appreciate you for coming in every week and being a part of the show. And remember, if you guys always come in here, we do have Spotify and Apple Music. You guys can always go back and listen to shows if you're busy at work. Or YouTube, whatever you guys prefer. But yeah, this Braden Fisk, man, he Joshua Merchant here is saying, what is your opinion on Braden Fisk if he's still available at the 15th pick? I know we need a cornerback, but do we grab him? So this is a tough one for me because of the fact that like I love Braden Fisk. I think Braden Fisk is going to be an absolute animal. Like I want him bad. Now, if I'm Ballard, my hope is that he can slip to the second round. I do not take him with the 15th pick unless I am 100% certain this guy will turn into Aaron Donald, Chris Jones, Geno Atkins back in his early days.
Warren Sapp.
Warren Sapp. He has to. I would have to have conviction that he's going to be one of those guys, and I don't think he will. But I still think he can be a Grover Stewart plus type of guy, a DeForest Buckner, for example, one of the guys that are big time in this game that don't always get the recognition. I think he can fit well in the pass rush, the run defense. My problem with it there is if you commit to drafting Braden Fisk, then Grover Stewart is out. So I think we can see here if Grover Stewart is one of our re-signs. But personally, I would hope that he would be there in the second round. So I wouldn't go first round, the 15th pick on him, but I would hope he makes it to the second round. But I absolutely love Braden Fisk.
Again, I do agree. You kind of have to, if you're going to take a D tackle that early, you're going to have to be convinced that he is, like a bona fide 3 technique, a guy like Aaron Donald, one of those guys. Be tempting though. Just a little interesting tidbit. He's from Indiana, Michigan City. So I mean that's cool. Another hometown kid. If that ends up being a trend, I doubt it. But taking a guy like that, you've got to be legit. I mean,
you gotta have conviction on
right.
that one.
I mean, like Ballard did with Quentin Nelson back in the day. It was the easiest thing he said. Like, you got to do something like that. And I don't know if Fisk is that good. I mean, he's credit to Fisk. He's a dog, but I don't know if he's mid-round, first-round talent good. Because that's 1% of the 1% right there. So I mean,
tough for me to justify that one at 15.
Would I say at 15? No. Would I take him at 32? Absolutely. Would I take him at 30? Absolutely. Would I take him at 29? For sure. From 27 on or 27 and lower, I absolutely would take him.
I think I'd probably like my number because I'm just trying to think of the talent that would be there because I know I've told you guys a couple times that like it would literally kill me if we traded back, right? But just seeing how much talent is in this draft, I think I'm starting to come to terms with. I would not be surprised if Ballard traded back to like 23 and just tried to load up on second round picks to just get as many of these guys as we could because there's so much talent, there's so much explosiveness, there's so many football players. Like it's just so much you can get out of this draft that I believe is strong there. That I think we could see that, but I think about 23, 24 would be my number for Fisk.
Do you think he's at a point in his career where he can do that again, though?
Who, Ballard?
Yeah.
Bro, why not?
No, I personally don't.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is, man. I mean, but to miss is what I'm saying. To do that and miss, and to do that and miss somebody
Right.
of a massive caliber.
But that's
I
a
think
risk you take every year. I mean, we've
it
seen the
is.
Colts pass up on trade down, and they've got
DK Metcalf when we need a receiver.
Right. Rock Ya-Sin instead of I think whoever the heck it was we traded down and missed on. But I look at it like if there's not two, I think there's really two prospects Ballard's looking at. Me personally, and that's edge. I think he's looking at edge rushers because he always talks about it. And there's a corner. And if both those two top guys are gone, would not shock me to see him trade back, like at all. Like if a guy like, is it or Dallas Turner or whatever it is from Bama?
Mm-hmm.
If he's not there and then his teammate Arnold isn't there, I would not be surprised if come 15 and the Colts are like, hey, we're going to trade back to like 29.
It's just mind-boggling to me, bro. We took 4 corners last year in the draft. 4 corners last year in the draft, and we're in this situation again. That's where I'm getting to with this, man. That's just kind of where I'm getting to.
But
and
are any of the corners we have
no
outside of Juju? I mean, that's the thing. None of our corners are really elite. As much as I like Juju, he's not shown me enough to really consider to be like, okay, he's a dog. And I've never been a big fan of Kenny Moore. I've said that before. As soon as you held out, you lose me. Like, I get it, it's a business, but like how he did it, just no integrity in my opinion. So yeah, the Colts are young, but to me, they really don't have any solidified true answers. And I believe if you go and get a guy at 15 and there's a guy there at 15 who day one is better, you go with that guy. Loyalty means nothing to me from a coaching aspect. If I were a coach, I also understand it from a player aspect, trying to get money. But I also say, if from Ballard's point of view, if the two targets he wants at 15 aren't there, I fully expect him to trade down.
In my opinion, Kenny Moore is off limits. He's staying on this team.
I mean, he's the best nickel statistically. He's the best nickel in the league, so you'd hope to bring him back. But I also think that every team needs a good nickel. So I truly feel like he's the one free agent that the Colts have that people are going to literally knock the door down to go get. Because I think Grover isn't going to get the big money because of that suspension.
And age.
But Kenny Moore is still in his prime. And Kenny Moore is statistically one of the best inside corners in the game. And teams need corners. So I fully expect if there's a guy who's going to get overpaid, it's going to be Kenny Moore. So that loss could definitely happen.
Yeah, it's I get where you're coming from as far as corners wise. So I get what you're saying too, Damon, that we just did draft 3 and only 2 pretty much made the team. But I do see from Zach's perspective that you have to solidify that position.
You do.
The tough part is Juju with injury, so you can't really guarantee that anything's going to work out. So that's a tough one always to manage. But at the same time, I feel like that if you – it really depends on which route we go in free agency, because you could go cornerback, could go pass rusher, to leave it to the draft to then take that opposite position, which I believe we'll do. Ballard also said we would get some receivers, so I do count some maybe 3rd or 4th round receivers in there as well, or free agency. But it's just like Zach was pretty much alluding to, you got one guy in that cornerback room that's a guy. Then you got another guy who you believe is a guy, but you're not going to know until the guy can stay healthy and stay on the field and give you 17 games. I mean, there. And so outside of that, you got, Jones, who we think could be a good player. He got thrown into the fire.
I think he's a year away, and he's Kenny Moore's replacement, in my opinion. Well,
I don't know if he's playing slot. I mean, or nickel corner. I don't know if that's his position. So I don't. I just think that it would be competition for him. Either way, you need depth. So I'm not saying Jones is gone, but I'm saying he's be the first competition guy.
But he played better than his rookie counterpart. even whenever they were
True,
healthy, and it's not.
but
It's
true.
non-debatable. It really
I,
truly
I
is.
I totally hear you, Damon. But when you get that draft pick, you get it handed to you, bro.
Yeah, when you're a second round
Regardless,
pick, you get multiple opportunities.
you get
But we're
multiple
just saying.
opportunities
I agree.
before.
I agree.
I totally get what you mean. That's why I'm saying if we draft a cornerback in the first or second round, he's up for dibs. He's competing for both of those corner spots, and so that's exactly where I'm going with this because it's like you got Kenny Moore, you got Juju. We know pretty much those are probably going to be our two starters, and then outside of that, everything else is competition. You got Dallas Flowers, you got Darrell Baker Jr., you got
Cut him. Cut him. Don't bring that guy back.
who's our special teamer? God damn it.
Oh, you're talking about Brown?
Yeah, Tony. You got Tony Brown, and so right there, though, that's 3 spots that's up for takes. So then after that, if you can beat out Juju or Dallas Flowers, who's coming off an Achilles, that's your spot. So like I mean, both of you guys are making good points there, and so I think like it's just a tough one with injuries to Juju to not be able to see him. But at the end of the day, you have to solidify corner, whether that's free agency or bringing in more competition. I think you just absolutely have to.
But I think in the way that all both of you have explained it, and honestly, from here now explain it again, I actually validate Zach's points a lot more to the fact that I think free agency, and I understand why Zach would want to go after L'Jarius Sneed, because I mean at this point, do you want to keep doing this carousel of rookies? It's like the same way I am with safety, man. This is ridiculous. We have taken 1, 2, 3 safeties the last 7 drafts, and it's still a circus back there. Still a circus back there. Oh, hey, let's go sign Rodney McLeod Jr. Let's go sign. Who's the guy we had the year before that was decent?
Hey, Rodney worked out.
Rodney did, and guess what we did?
Didn't overpay him.
Well, he got vet minimum, bro.
We went young.
He got vet minimum. He got vet minimum. Oh yeah, I think Cleveland got him like 3.2
Yeah, he
million.
took vet minimum because he said he was going to go win a championship in Cleveland.
Yeah, right. But it's just okay. Then we get a guy that will be a Band-Aid for a year. We let him go. So this is kind of where my issue with Ballard reigns supreme is we consistently put ourselves in these situations that even us fans can notice, and then he hops on a radio show a year later and goes, "I think I should have been a little smarter there." Yeah, yeah. Because we all saw this stuff, and this stuff might work for you week 1 through 8. But week 8 to 17 is whenever it starts biting us in the rear, and we got Raheed Shaheed going for 200 yards because we have no communication on the back end. So, in my opinion, this is whenever we need to be more aggressive in free agency and not go into the draft looking for this. Take an early edge rusher. Take early edge rusher. Go ahead.
The way I see it is, to me, free agency determines what the season's going to be like.
Yeah.
For me. If the Colts don't come out and they're not aggressive in free agency, and they're, same old Colts, same old.
You got to define come out and be aggressive.
Talking spend, bro. Like spend big money, not on our own, but on other guys as well. You go out and you're aggressive. You go out and you address the needs that you need. Multiple. I'm not saying go out and do what the Eagles did a couple of years ago and go hog wild and trade for everybody and sign everybody in free agency. But I'm saying, if the Colts aren't at least signing, in my opinion, 7 new dudes, 7 guys in free agency, 4 of which are new, 2 of which are big money contracts, we're not trying to win nothing. We ain't trying to build crap. Like, Kenny Moore's coming back. That's a big contract. All right, cool. I still want another corner. Go get Snead, go get Johnson, get a corner. Cool. Corner solidified. Free agency. We ain't got to draft it. D-line. Do we bring Grove back? I think you can get him back for cheap. Go out and get another quality rusher. I don't care if it's a 3 technique. I don't care if it's an edge. I don't care. Brian Burns, whoever it might be. Another stud. And then bring back your small guys because they're going to be guys who you can get on the cheap because, that's what the Colts do. Or you do what we do with Mo. We overpay Mo to keep him because he's one of our guys. So, you overpay for somebody. Hopefully you can renegotiate it or you just understand that, hey, we overpaid for a blocking tight end. And the way I see it is 7 dudes, new dudes on the roster, 3-4 guys that are returning. And then in that draft pick, if the 2 guys that you have needs or want aren't there, trade it, get more, add a dude. I don't care if you trade. If that doesn't happen, same old Colts. Bargain bin Ballard. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, see, I agree on exactly your plot or your plan that you had laid out as far as who we need to bring in, the 7 total guys, 4 of which being new either side of the ball. I totally agree with that point, but it's the point of when you say aggressive. So, like, I also agree that that's what we need to do, but I don't take that as first day of free agency aggression. When I say aggression, I mean that it needs to be aggression to where, hey, the Colts are actually talking to these guys to try and get so and so, because it needs to be something that we're looking at, guys, and we're looking to bring guys in and not just go out and spend first day. Because if you look at teams that primarily do well, there was a graphic where
I don't mean spend first day.
The teams that spend the most and just go out there and just throw money, they literally are almost never the teams that succeed.
Yeah, no.
So I agree with your plot that you had laid out. I just meant the definition of the aggression, because most of what you said, I think I pretty much agree with all of it.
Aggression, aggressive in contracts. So like, hey, this is a guy we want, and I don't care if it's day 27 of free agency or day 6, but you're aggressive in getting him competitive money contract offers. You have no fear, and hey, we just reset the market for outside linebacker. Oops, didn't mean to, but the dude's a dog and is going to improve the team. That's my example. Like, that's what I mean by aggressiveness. Like, if you reset the market on a position, but you're also getting better, so be it. I don't care.
Yeah, I got you there. So yeah, I think we're pretty much on a line there on what we want to see done as far as free agency coming up here. But it would definitely lay out what we plan to do. I definitely want to see a vet in that cornerback room, though, regardless of what happens. So if it's Snead, hopefully for me, if it's Jalen Johnson, I want to see a vet in that room, man. I just don't think you could just keep getting away with not having one. I'd also like to see a safety. If we can get a cheap safety there, something I want to see as well. All right, real quick, let's hop on the other side of the ball here. Joshua is getting us into a perfect segue. Here's Joshua saying, I know we talked about this a lot, a ton on the show. We have a lot of fans. I think we need another receiver. Personally, I think Pierce is not getting enough credit, and I'm okay with maybe signing one and one free agency for the right price. Don't think we need to waste a draft pick on one, though. Damien, you want to have at this one first?
I think we're in a weird spot on tooling up on that kind of offensive talent, because we didn't get to see our soon-to-be franchise guy like saturate that position group. We kind of got to see what Gardner could do with that position group. So, I mean, of all times to be mad about not taking receiver, like, I could understand this year with us running it back and maybe going to get an vet on an actual budget-friendly deal to provide some sort of value to that room. As long as there's no duplicity, I would want someone to have a different skill set. So what I mean by that is I wouldn't want someone to go do the exact same thing Josh Downs does, like Isaiah McKenzie. Too much duplicity, in my opinion. I would want like a true standout at that room. So, I mean, if we're in a good spot to go get like a superstar style receiver in the draft, sure. Will one of those fall? Probably not. So I'm not overly worried about that, and I'm open to letting AR kind of run ship here and maybe getting even more out of AP. Just my opinion.
Do you agree that we should sign one in free agency and not draft one, though?
That's so circumstantial. Who's on the board? Who's available?
Adonai Mitchell, Troy Franklin, Xavier Worthy.
Adonai Mitchell, yeah. But like I said, where are we drafting this guy? I'm not taking him in the first. second, third round, I will.
Malik Neighbors on the board at 15.
Oh yeah, come on now. That's yeah, that's what we do right there, right? We miss on guys like that, and then he goes on to be Justin Jefferson, right? So or DK Metcalf, we need receivers. So that's where I'm at with it, man.
For sure. Zach, you want to chime in on this one? Basically saying don't think Pierce gets enough credit. Probably just sign one in free agency. Don't draft one.
Unless it's the top 4, I'm not wasting the 15th overall pick on the
Who give your top 4 just so we know who that
receivers, Harrison Jr., Roma Dugier, Malik Neighbors, and A.D. Mitchell.
Adonai Mitchell. All right, cool.
Those are my top 4. So if it's not one of those top 4 guys, I'm not spending high draft capital on it. I got no problem drafting a guy in the later rounds. But if you drop a guy in the later rounds, those are usually special teamers. So I feel like if you're going to spend that money, I'd rather spend that money in free agency on difference makers on the defensive side of the ball. And you kind of run it back with the receivers we have. And you just let AR see what he can do. And then, because I think offensively we're further along than we are defensively, in my opinion.
I agree at this point. With getting AR back, I agree.
Like
100%
if we put AR in that situation, because, I mean, I think Minshew missed a lot of deep throws last year.
Or didn't take them. That Alec Pierce would have popped off had AR been back there. I also think that, AR kind of, because his ability to move around, makes it a little bit easier on receivers to create. And I believe the Colts have some really creative guys, the ability to create, because that's what Alec Pierce did at Cincinnati. When Ritter got out of the pocket, Pierce always got open because he was coming back to him. So I feel like you add AR, you draft some guys in later rounds, mid-5th, 6th, whatever, and then you use that money to answer questions on defense and free agency, you're fine. I mean, that's as long as Pittman Jr. comes back in free agency. This is if Pitt comes back.
He ain't going nowhere.
Good, but I don't think we need to go sign a guy like Evans because it's not worth it. And there's really nobody in free agency who I think that is worth a damn offensively. That you're like, oh, I gotta give this guy back the Brinks truck up. Like it's just not offensively.
From you guys' perspective and not wanting to really draft a guy, and maybe possibly taking one later, I don't think really suits the plan of what we heard from Ballard. Although I will say I was disappointed in his free agency comments because it didn't sound like it changed a bit from the past, so I was kind of disappointed in there. But from what you guys are saying, it almost kind of sounds like we should just take Bowers with the 15th overall pick.
Hell no.
Just for where you guys are at with the receiver. Me personally, I think that I do think Pierce does not get enough credit. I think his blocking is still something that we should appreciate. I know he runs primarily go balls. I think that's on part what he can do, what he shows he can do. He needs to be more better about developing his talents to become a more effective receiver in all areas of running route trees and moving around on the field. But with that being said, I still think you need a guy to come in and compete. Same thing with Quiddy. Like we can't just let guys get complacent with being, average to okay players and just think that we're going to be okay and we're going to win something with that. So me personally, if I was to go in free agency, I'd bring in a guy like a Hollywood Brown, maybe a Paris Campbell,
MVS.
I don't really know about MVS. I mean, I guess we could take him just because of his deep threat ability. Calvin Ridley, if we can get him cheap, something like that. I mean, along those lines. But I'd say I'd just put it as a plan. Like I'd get a Hollywood Brown, bring him in as my another speedster deep threat, and then I'd draft a guy like Adonai Mitchell. That would be more so my plan. I think regardless of free agency, I think you have to draft one of these explosive receivers, maybe a Xavier Worthy, within the first or second round. I think you just have to make one of those guys a draft pick. Primarily, I think you can even head whichever way you want to, and you could go through free agency and bring in guys all on the defensive side of the ball. Just find your guys there on defense. Bring back some of your guys. Go get a Jalen Johnson, a L'Jarius Sneed, like we talked about. Go get a Kyle Duggar at safety. Get some guys that have played elite defense in this league. Bring them onto this team, and then get to the NFL draft and go young and explosive playmakers on that side of the ball. So that'd be my way. I just don't think you leave this draft without a receiver.
Are you trading up for a guy then, a receiver?
No,
If you're
I'm not trading
steadfast?
up. I'm not trading up. Worst case scenario, I trade back a little bit, a couple picks, and I'd still get somebody like I said, bro. A lot of these top guys are all running 4.3s, 4.2s, 4.4s.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna get somebody who has some explosive capability. I mean, hell, even Troy Franklin, who I was pretty disappointed with. I mean, he ran a 4.4, but I was expecting a 4.3. Just because his route tree isn't all that great. It's very similar to Alec Pierce. But, I mean, you get some guys with some explosiveness. That's all this offense really needs. You look at what Pittman did with that screen that he took for 38 yards. All you really need is some explosive playmakers for Anthony Richardson to get the ball in their hands. I just think that from what Ballard said about what we had to do with this receiver room, he put it on himself. He said he felt bad that what Coach Shane Steichen and Reggie Wayne had to deal with on game day to make that wide receiver room go to work. So I just don't think there's no way we don't come away from free agency and the draft without a total of 3 receivers coming into that room. That's just where I'm at with that.
That's fair.
All right. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at with that. I know we had some discussions about everything that's been going on. Anywhere you guys want to take this conversation? Where we at with I just saw some running backs pop up here. I got NFL Network on.
I got the most
cornerbacks, safeties. I don't know if Zach, you want to talk about your guy Nubin.
Important. No. We're going punter, folks. We're talking punter. Rodrigo Sanchez.
We talking punters?
Rigoburo Sanchez.
We talking about punters.
Yes. He's a free agent. Hey, I know a punter that just got released who's darn good. Colts, go out and sign Tommy Townsend. Improve your special teams. Go out and get a stud. Rigo's been good. Go out and get a proven stud. Get Townsend.
You do realize the Chiefs released Tommy Townsend to take Trevor Ariza or
Matt
I'm thinking of basketball.
Oh God, where we're going with this?
Matt Ariza, because they didn't want to pay Tommy Townsend.
Right,
So
Indianapolis.
But look how that's going to look. Chris Ballard just paid a lot of free agent special teams guy. Then we just signed Matt Gay and made him the richest kicker in the league. And then we go sign a punter and make him the highest paid punter in the league.
Absolutely. Hey, dog. Hey, would we say Matt Gay? Was Matt Gay worth the investment? He won us a game in Baltimore.
You can't ask Damon that.
Matt Gay's worth the money, dog. He won. He had a couple missed kicks. No one plays a year healthy. He had a hip flexor. All right. He missed a couple kicks. Vinny was trash as last year. Okay.
Hey, real quick.
Why are you Vinny catching strays?
My bad. Real quick, just to ask you guys a question. Why every fucking year we got a kicker with a hip flexor problem?
I don't know.
It's been every year since
I think it's pretty common though.
Let's go back and look at our sports nutrition and our training facilities. They got a D-.
Bro, it's crazy every year. Go ahead, Zach.
I just say, hey, the Ballard keeps talking about wanting to improve special teams. It's got to be better. Pay the punter. Pay for Townsend. Pay for Townsend. Hey, Sanchez, odds are you'll be back because, Ballard probably gets you on the cheap sheet because that's what he does. But but go get the best punter in the game. Get Townsend, in my opinion. Why not? As for other prospects, let's flip this on its head, folks, and let's talk about my favorite prospect in the draft. My favorite, absolutely my guy. His name's Tyler Nubin. safety from Minnesota. Dude's a dog. He can play half field safety, quarter field safety, center field safety, down at the line. He can cover in the slot. That is a Texas grown ass man.
Talking about
Adonai Mitchell? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I think Ashley commented Xavier Worthy above there, so I think they may be talking about Ashley's point.
But he is not going to be going before 15. If he's
I don't
going
think so either.
If he's going before 15, some GM is getting fired.
But Nubin, folks, he's that dude.
The hip flexors.
He's that dude. He's my favorite prospect in this entire draft. He's the one guy I wish Indianapolis would have because he has, in my opinion, he is that Earl Thomas safety that the Colts need. Like, if they spent their 15th pick on Nubin, I would be happy as crap because he is that Earl Thomas type of safety. He's an eraser. He's that guy. He's that good.
Damien, you want to chime in on that, or?
I mean, that's Zach's guy, so I don't know how much I could chime in on it, but I mean, I want to know for certain. I'd like to go after. If we're talking about safety, I'm giving Antoine Winfield Jr. the beans.
He got tagged.
Oh, he did get tagged. Oh.
Tampa tagged him.
No, he didn't.
Oh yeah, they did.
I thought that was a rumor that didn't happen.
No, he got tagged because they let Mayfield hit free agency. Mayfield's not been tagged, and they're not going to re-sign Evans. I just read where Winfield Jr. got the tag.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I see that he hasn't got it yet.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten tagged.
Really? Hey,
if they do tag him, his price will be $17.1 million.
Worth it. If he is a free agent, Colts need to go get him. But I'm pretty sure I read where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to tag him.
No, they have not tagged him, and they also have the same timeline as the Colts, which would be Tuesday to choose to tag him or not.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Zach. I'm with Damon on this one. Give me
give me another rookie.
Give me Winfield Jr. I just don't feel like safety is necessarily a need to draft that high on. And then if you do, I think you can go Blackman for cheap, or you can go all out and cash out on Winfield Jr.
I love Julian Blackman, man.
I think either way, I think that'll be two options that you can go there for safety. So that would be my
Jr. there. Indianapolis, go pursue that. But if Winfield Jr. isn't there, take Nubin at 15. I have no problem. And if you make that commitment, you're already. That's the thing. Like, the Colts haven't invested a first round commitment in a safety. No, they trade up for a third round bum and Cross.
Malik Hooker.
He was hurt all the time.
I feel like taking Nubin. I feel like taking Nubin at 15 would be the same thing as taking Bowers at 15. I just don't.
What?
I don't think.
Nubin's a beast, man. Nubin's a beast. He's
but
a good,
not at 15.
Hamilton, just not as tall.
I haven't even. A matter of fact, I haven't even seen a mock draft with him going in the first round. So it's just, I'm not. I like, even if you wanted him, you could get him in the second. There's no reason to take him at 15.
He'll be gone.
I just don't think I don't even if I had a safety, my favorite safety that I'm gonna choose, it'd be
that dude from Florida, Kitchens.
Yeah, Cam Kitchens. No, that's Miami.
From Miami.
Yeah. So that's my safety that I like. I also like the safety out of goddamn, I forget the school. It was a small school. Forget his name right now, but I'm not taking a safety at 15.
I'm not taking a safety in this draft. Didn't we have two? Didn't we take two last year that both of them blew
Daniel Scott ripped his knee up, and then I don't know who else.
Ballard said he wants him to possibly start this year. Did you not hear him talking about him?
No.
Hey, Leslie, we totally apologize on that. Totally apologize. But yeah, I'm not taking safety at 15.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
don't.
man.
I can't
Tell
do
me,
it, Zach.
dog.
I can't
But Zach,
do it.
or even go Kevin Byard. He's only 30. He's 30.
Yeah, go buy her, and you can get them for cheap.
Zach, come on, bro. Okay, of all times for a good Ballard bargain bin pickup, Byard is the no-brainer. Let's be real. Let's be real.
Like
Ballard,
if they go vet at safety, I won't be mad.
bro, we got
But
to get some
like,
type of vet in the
I
back
feel
end.
you. I
We
feel you.
have
I
to, man.
feel you. I feel you. But I
Somehow.
like Nubin a lot, man. And if he's there and they're all like, no, we're going to pass, and he ends up being Ed Reed, I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be so mad because I'll be like, I told you so. He was that good. I saw his tape. I've watched like 9 games of his, man. Kid is stud.
Yeah, man, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one.
Anybody checking the rugby league games in Vegas tonight?
I'm not.
No.
I'm not. I don't watch. I'm sorry, David. Don't watch any rugby. When
Rugby
yeah.
sevens.
Any Damon, who you got? Who's your big guy that you're high on that you would love to see at 15 that maybe we probably weren't thinking about, or maybe you just like?
I like Terry and Arnold a lot. I do. I think he does fit the bill. Even though I'm over here preaching to Zach that we go veteran somewhere in the back end. I mean, if we're talking about like a true Colt, I know I hate to say that because it hasn't worked out for us too well. He is that guy to me on paper. My dream pick will be much like Trevor's though. At 15, we get Malik Neighbors because I think that guy is going to be a absolute
dog,
yeah,
a Hall of Famer.
I think he's the best one out of the draft in my opinion. But I think we're going to see receiver become a position where it's going to be regular to see them taken in the top 5, just due to the price in the market as well as their value. The rookie contract value is just massive at this point. But Terry and Arnold for me, and Malik Neighbors as my dream pick.
Yeah, I'm with Damon there, man. I think I got a few, man. Like I said, I told you guys I'm indecisive. I've been
Verse as well. My bad.
I've been all over the place. Versus dropped a little bit with me, but I know I got a few that like I really freaking want. It'll be Malik Neighbors. It'll be Terry Arnold. It'll be Dallas Turner. It'll be Braden Frisk. There's a bunch of guys that just grow on me that I really want to see, and I really want to see how this draft stakeouts. My 2 though, that I think that just jump off the page at me would have to be Dallas Turner and Terry Arnold. I don't even think Malik Neighbors makes it nowhere near us personally.
Top 8. Top 8. He ain't getting out.
So yeah, those would be my 2, my couple of dream ones. Hey, real quick question for you guys. How you guys feel about Joe Milton getting taken by the Colts to be our backup QB?
Like the old Peyton Manning commercial, 6'5", laser rocket arm, but the dude's so inaccurate, it's disgusting. I was not a fan. I think it's going to be a lot of work with Milton. A lot of work with Milton. I think there's better fits. I would like a Tyler Huntley, someone like that, before I invest in another quarterback. But if you do have to invest in a rookie quarterback, I'm definitely intrigued by Spencer Rattler. I told you.
Rattler is trash, bro. I am tired of hearing his name. I
told you guys about it.
He needs to go.
I'm so intrigued by this kid.
He needs to go to the nearest Walmart, put on an apron, and go stack some goddamn groceries. Spencer Rattler's garbage. He is trash. I don't want to hear it. No.
I don't know. I'm intrigued. He's had a nice Senior Bowl. He looked good at the Senior Bowl.
What are you intrigued by him? What are you intrigued by?
His haircut? His haircut?
I think he could be a solid. I think he could be a solid backup in the league. I don't think he'd be a great starter, but I think he could be a solid backup and a guy who's mobile enough that if he got hurt, if AR got hurt, he could come in and win a couple games. I just like his potential because he looked good.
He could barely do that at South Carolina.
He looked good at the Senior Bowl, and then he turned around and looks pretty decent at the Combine. Like, and at South Carolina, he had no offensive line. Dude was running for his life. Beyond that, it's pretty valid. But I think as a backup, it's worth a shot, especially if you get him undrafted or a late round pick. I'm not opposed to it. Yeah.
Daniel Jeremiah don't even have Tyler Nubin as a top 50 prospect.
And that's why he's not an executive anymore. Trash, dog. Nubin's that guy. I've watched 9 games of his, man. Nubin's that dude. He's the best safety in the draft. If he falls the second round, whatever team gets him, stud, steal.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Steal. But yeah, backup quarterback, because I'll be the first, not a fan of Sam Ehlinger. No, sir, Bob. Like, Sammy's not going to be QB2. Get rid of that talk. And I think Milton is way too inaccurate. But I look at a guy like, would you take Sam Hartman from Notre Dame to be a backup?
Hell no.
See, that's why I prefer a guy. As I said, give me a vet, give me a Tyler Huntley type. You know, I have no problem with Josh Dobbs even as a backup. But the one QB prospect that absolutely intrigues me in this year's draft is Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, but man, see, even like you just said, like Spencer Rattler is trash. And then like the reason I said Joe Milton was because of the fact that he's so similar to Anthony Richardson as far as play style, body type, similar offense that you can pretty much keep it in. I it's not like he'd be the first guy to take. I'd spend like a 7th round draft pick or something.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and
I
so
would do
that's
that.
something that I would get. Like Sam Hartman ran his 40 today. It was a 4.8. You know, that's similar. That'd be like going all the way. That'd be like going all the way back over with Gardner Minshew.
I'm just not a fan of Ehlinger whatsoever. Like, dude is not a 2. People will be like, oh, we can promote Sammy. No. Sammy cheats. He's going to be a 3rd quarterback, practice squad guy his entire career.
That's fair. So, what's his name? I think I don't even know if Rattler will be that.
I don't even know.
Y'all realize Rattler was the highest rated high school prospect of a quarterback ever.
Yeah, he was like perfect.
He was top 5 basketball player, top 5 baseball player, and he failed to succeed at any level, even in that Lincoln Riley offense that is literally the most quarterback-friendly college offense. He failed miserably, and then goes to South Carolina and couldn't even put anything together but like 2 or 3 good games. I don't see it. KJ Jefferson would have been my guy had he came out.
Isn't he at UCF, right?
KJ Jefferson, he transferred.
Yeah,
he transferred.
UCF.
He got a good NIL deal. But,
there's a couple guys. I mean, if they went and said, hey, Joe Milton, 6'5", mobile is crap.
I'll take Joe Milton.
I would too.
Undrafted.
But you're right. But the accuracy is the problem because
but they said the same thing about Anthony Richardson. This is
No,
exactly what. No, I know. I know it's different. What I'm saying is everything that they do though,
right,
is very similar. Obviously, there's some more that needs to be developed with him.
Right.
But that's my whole point of we should never see this guy play. All I'm saying is what we get from AR, if he was off the field, we get that same explosive, similar explosiveness with
I don't
Joe
disagree.
Milton. That was just my point of that there.
If we're going athletic-wise, like athletic ability, absolutely, I agree. Because Sammy's not that. Sammy is not that athletic.
Yeah.
He's not the 2. Anybody who like knows that Sammy's not that guy. He's a feel-good story. He was a winner in Texas.
He was a dual-threat quarterback in college.
Beyond that,
I just found
quarterback.
I just found
one time
on sportingnews.com, Zach. Tyler Nubin ranked 50. No way you could take him in the 1st round.
Hey, if they don't, excellent. That means the Colts can pick him there at 46. I won't be mad at that, but I am saying I think he's a 1st-round talent. I really do. In my opinion, I really do. But I'm also not an executive, and I don't get paid to do it every day.
Totally fair. I was just saying that because of the 15 overall pick that we were talking about, I just don't think
Leslie, I get it. You love Sam Ellinger, but guess what? He's not. And it's just it's just facts. Homie's gonna be a third round or a third string QB his entire career. It's just facts. I'm sorry, but he's not. If he makes the team this year, even as an emergency, I would be stunned. He's just not. Sammy's garbage. Trash. Trash.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I think Sammy is going to be a career 3. It's just tough to find a conversation. What year is this even for him?
Like year 4. If he was going to be good, he would have been good.
Yeah, so this is pretty much his last year with Indy. So I don't even think that he would stick around pretty much after this year. So
they can cut bait.
Yeah, I just had a conversation there about that one just because seen it being discussed, talked about it myself. Just want to see where you guys were at with that one. But next, real quick. Oh, it's up here right now. We got Jonathan Brooks, Trey Benson, Blake Corum, Bucky Brooks, Audric Estime, and just a boatload of others. Isaac, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But pretty much many others. Where are you guys feeling about this this running back class, man? This running back class is loaded. Is there anybody that you guys would personally take or think about taking? I'm gonna say later round just because I don't think running back is necessarily need in the higher round, but later rounds. Where are you guys feeling about running backs?
Antime from Notre Dame. I'm kidding. Estime from Notre Dame.
He is a beast among a man. I will say that. He is a massive human.
He ran a 4.7. No way.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean that's definitely a Trev question right there because Trev loves him. But I like Allen from Wisconsin, but these are all later pick guys. To me, I don't know. I guess y'all kind of made me shy away from that position just from talking about it. And I think having AR, we're going to see that just that rushing attack improve, and the usage rate hopefully be split among a couple backs. So I'm not overly interested, even though this running back draft is deep. But I'd be happy to see a really talented one make a team. That's what I'll say.
I think honestly, I think Evan Hall is probably going to be the dude because, like, I know he's coming off an injury, but I think that the Colts invested in running back last offseason, and then Trey Sermon ended up being nice, and then Goodson ended up being solid besides his lack of catch from a shitty thrown ball from Gardner. So I really think, like, as long as we have JT running back 2 through 74, or however many we keep on the roster, it really doesn't matter because Shane's scheme, he's able to do a lot with that position. So as long as JT's that feature back and, he gets his touches, which he was coming on at the end of the year and we saw that, then to me, it'd probably be some undrafted dude because how deep this talent is. This class is so deep. It really could be the Colts could find an undrafted guy and roll with him. And he could come in and pop off. I think they invested money in Hall, so Hall's going to be that guy. They invested money, or not money, but good capital in Hall, yeah. So I think Hall's going to get that opportunity. And before he got hurt, he showed he could run between the tackles, he could catch, he could do a little bit of everything. And I think he truly is the complement to JT. He will be able to take carries off of JT and prolong JT's career. I also wouldn't mind. Now, if we are talking about spending money. Is it realistically to think Zach Moss could come back? I don't know. But if Zach Moss wants to come back on the cheap, I'd have no problem with that.
Bingo. I love Zach Moss, bro. But it's a position easily replaceable.
Right. So to me, like if we draft one, cool. If we don't, I ain't mad because I feel like again, the scheme that Shane runs, it's literally plug and play. I
agree.
I got killed because DeMarco was all like, you compare JT to who was it? Miles
Sanders?
Miles Sanders. Like DeMarco was like,
Yeah.
you compare
I wasn't having it
to Miles Sanders last year. I mean, just production wise, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
this is to Leslie Turner's point. You're right. Running backs is the last thing that Ballard is going to pick. Right, I agree. But he has a knack for finding incredible running backs and great linebackers. Like that dude can find him in his sleep. He gets one every year.
You just can't take a corner, safety, or
I'm telling you right now, I can't remember what my list was, but it was a list between quite a few running backs. I think it was Trey Benson, Marshawn Lloyd, Isaac Guerrero. That's how you pronounce it. There was the Oregon running back. I'm forgetting his name right now. Bucky Irving. Yeah. Those were a few running backs that I said, and whatever one of them made it through rounds 4 through 6, I'm taking one of those guys. Isaac Guerrero, this guy, one out of every 6 plays was an explosive play. The dude only has I think it's like a career 180 carries just because of his limited time that he's played. And the dude is absolutely explosive. Ran a 4.33 40. He's the guy that I'm looking for to be like a Devin A-Chain like Miami had. I want a running back. Like, I don't care what nobody's talking about. We could say that Ballard may not take one, but if one of these guys can get to those later rounds, I'm taking them. Yes, there's plenty of other guys in positions to take there, but I see no reason when you look at some of these running backs and some of their 40 times, like a Marshawn Lloyd, who I was telling you guys about earlier. He's 5'8", 221s or 4'3". You got Trey Benson, who's an all-around back who ran a 4.39. You got the kid that I was talking about out of Oregon that he also ran. I want to say he ran like a 4.5, but this dude is all-around running back. Guy can catch the ball. He can run. Whatever you want to do. I think there's just no point in sitting there paying a guy like a Zach Moss when you can bring in another guy who can carry the load. Or even be more multiple, because outside of JT's ankle, he had his his heel or whatever he was dealing with versus the Texans. He barely came out the game, and then and again outside of the ankle, and he had the thumb surgery. This guy always comes back and he's always healthy. So to me, I think you're just coming to be more explosive is what I want to see from this Colts team. I'm tired of us being the team that has to churn out 80-yard drives while everybody can just boom and explode on us for big plays. Like, add
that
more
Saints game,
to
for an example.
Man, just be more explosive and show that we can be one of these teams. Like when you come into town to play us, and even think about we were, I believe we finished like 8th or 9th in scoring overall. We can be one of these teams that can literally be top 3, and you're going to fear coming in to play us. So I'm not saying we have to go running back, but I just think there's no point to have to pay a Zach Moss when there's so many other running backs that you can get in rounds 4 through 7. I just don't see it.
Yeah, Drake Wally's in here making some good comments, and we're on the exact same page.
I can't remember which. Hey Drake, if you don't mind shouting out your page, we'll give it a little shout out on here. Can't remember exactly which one he's from, but he's on a Colts page.
We're on the exact same page as Drake. We're on the exact same page as him too. I think he's saying everything here that we agree with, and we've kind of talked about here at this point. So solid points, man. And I think corner's kind of what we're leaning to, and and even to this Evan Hull point here that Zach kind of talked over here just a little bit ago. You know what I mean?
He's horseshoe huddle. So yeah, appreciate you, Drake, for coming in here. But yeah, he's basically saying what Damon was shining in on. He's saying this wide receiver class is deep, and that's what I've been saying. Like, there's so many people to pick and choose from that like it's hard to even choose. I do not envy Ballard in this draft at all because
I only have one problem with this.
Hold on, Zach. Let me finish reading it out then. Yeah, he's saying very solid talent is Malachi Corley, who will be available on day 2, who also Steve Smith said is his I think it was his number 4 sleeper wide receiver. Obviously, Brian Thomas is the most realistic for number 15. I was also super juiced. Dude ran a 4.3. Brian Thomas, he might be the best receiver in this draft. I understand that, but the guy only been playing receiver since he was a sophomore in high school. So let him keep
out here looking like Terrell Owens, dropping balls.
Yeah, let me keep finishing. But the cornerback class isn't as
a Hall of Famer, bro.
I think Indy goes cornerback round 1. And then he also says, and people forget Evan Hull is there, the best receiving back on Indy right now. If Hull is healthy, then Moss can go, and they can draft another running back in day 3. Like I've been saying, I think you just add to the room. There's no reason to pay Zach Moss. And so shout out to Horseshoe Huddle. If you guys don't listen to them, I believe they're also on Spotify. You guys go check them out. But yeah, go ahead, Damien. You can finish chiming in on that. What's up, Josh? Appreciate you coming in.
No, I mean, I spoke to those points exactly. That's exactly how we felt the whole time. But Brian Thomas Jr. for me is not the most realistic option if we're ever going to go receiver in the first place. Just like I said, based upon duplicity, if we're going to get a guy, I want him to be a no-brainer starter day 1, taking someone's position. And I just don't see that out of him. I think it'd be a good 3rd, 4th option for some teams. But we're just not in a position right now to acquire that kind of guy. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it.
My only concern about Brian Thomas Jr. is the drops. Bro got to be working on the jug machine, because, I mean, yeah, I just said, well, Terrell Owens had a ton of drops, but T.O. had 1 drop a game, and he was still a Hall of Famer.
And targeted 60 times a game.
Right. So, I mean, it's just that 10% drop rate, that's tough, especially in playing in an NFL league now that teams throw the ball 4 on 4 straight downs. So, I'm going to waste it down and throw it to a guy who's not going to catch it 1 out of the 4 times. For me, that's a little rich for my blood.
I don't know, man. That sounds kind of crazy to me because it's just imagine so you say 10% drop rate, right?
That's what it's
now. Imagine. I mean, I get it. I get it, but if you go watch the tape, he makes so many explosive plays. Is it really going to matter? So it's say you throw him a screen, right? He drops it. And then you throw him a slant and go, and boom, he takes it for 60. He's a rookie. It's not like we're going to overly depend upon him. We got Michael Pittman Jr. catching 11 balls per game. We got Josh Downs. We got Alec Pierce. So it's not necessarily something that's going to be there, and you can continue to see things develop and grow. I think we had this same conversation about Davis from Buffalo, who also had a high drop rate, but this past season he was able to get better.
If
there's
he gets
things
better,
that
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's things that players can develop on that can always get better and fix. And that's just one of those things that we got to realize that nobody's going to come in perfect. Everybody's going to have their flaws. There's a reason they don't go as high as that number 1, like a Marvin Harrison Jr. going to be up there, Malik Neighbors, 2 of those guys. So we got to remember there's always things that they're going to draft, fix, and develop that will mold that player into somebody that's still going to be good for us. Because, I mean, I just think that everything that this guy has proven is just proves playmaking ability. He has the speed. He has the separation. I think he's got good hands. Maybe I think he has more concentration drops rather than just bad hands drops is what I would label it to personally. And then I just think the film that I've seen on the guy, I think he's just been growing on me more and more and more. So, I mean,
if he's there and the Colts take him, I won't be mad. But the drops are concerning. The drops are concerning because you're right. If I throw it to him 4 times and he drops it once, but he has 3 receptions for 175 yards.
Why am I mad?
Why the hell am I mad? You're right.
Exactly. So It's just one of those things It's just a situational thing. But I do agree with him. Like this class is just loaded. There's different positions. I do think there's a good chance to. I think that's a good point too. Now that I think about it, I think we may go corner in the first round just because of how many receivers there are. So maybe Brian Thomas Jr. isn't the pick, but it's a tough one to settle out. But like I said, that's why I don't envy Ballard in this one at all, just because there's just so many in this one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Leslie is saying he's picking up old linemen in the backgrounds.
Wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't shock me because that's the way Ballard builds in the trenches. I just still think that there's some of these running backs that are going to slip just because of how much talent there is. I just what I'm not. Drake is also saying, I'm also hoping Woods can take off his tight end one. Think about it. All four teams, conference championships, had a dynamic tight end. Kelsey, Laporta, Kittle, Andrews. Hoping they can get that somehow. Absolutely, 100% agree. That's been my big argument the whole time against the whole take.
DeMarco's guy right here.
Take Brock Bowers. So that's been my whole thing. Hey man, hey look, I said it before. If people want a tight end so bad, go take Jatavian Sanders. Go take somebody else. Don't.
We even got to draft one. We got a dog on the team. His name's Will Mallory. Dude's gonna be a goat, bro.
Whatever you want to go with it, just don't draft a tight end at 15. That's where I'm at it. That's where I'm at with it.
So
what's up, Dave?
Why did Jelani miss last season again? Did we ever get a full reason why he didn't play a single game?
Hamstrings. Pulled pork for hamstrings.
He missed a 5-month season due to a pulled hamstring. Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Like completely, both of them completely detached from like bone, everything.
Is that true?
Yeah. Like he had no hamstrings. Like they were gone. First time he pulled them, gone.
That's not good. That's both.
Same time, both legs.
No, he was doing good with one, and then the other one got hurt. So that's typically what happens with muscles.
Because you put more
straining,
right.
When you're straining when you're working to fix one, you strain the other one. So,
but that'd be interesting because
either way, like I said, that's where I'm at with tight ends though. I just don't feel like you need one in the first round. If you want a tight end so bad, go take a different guy later. But either way, just hoping that Jelani Woods comes through. And then look, Drake Wally has more. He says there's Theo Johnson. Ballard won blocking more than anything. He's a good blocking tight end.
Facts, Dave. Facts.
But he also loves Mallory. He was money and just needs more targets. Fastest tight end in 2023. So yeah. So I just I think you can find a tight end. I just really believe you can find a tight end. I don't think you need to look at a tight end and go generational because we see what Travis Kelce is doing. Nobody cared for Travis Kelce when Alex Smith was throwing him the football. I don't believe you go for the whole generational tight end. Like I said, the Falcons tried it. It didn't work. I just see that there's so many other talented players that we may not call generational. There's so many other guys that are other positions that I feel we need to go.
You think Indianapolis can ever find a generational fullback? I mean, like they use the word generational tight end, so like
we don't even use fullback.
I'm just waiting for like the Colts to come up with a generational fullback, and that's just the trend now. Man.
You want to go back to wishbone wing team?
Hell yes, absolutely. Bro, with AR and Downs, all you just need is an up back, and I truly believe we could run the fucking wishbone this year and be incredible.
I know y'all heard me hollering in the Texans game, and y'all were like, "Shut up!" And in the second half, we came out, ran the ball 8 times in a row. We got back in the game. I hate throwing the football, man. You know me. So
I would love to see the Colts come out on the wishbone. That'd be beautiful.
I would just love for us to not have some traumatic injury for once.
Oh, it's our training staff that got that D plus.
Yeah,
Knock
that's our
on
training staff.
wood. I mean, I don't think that's all on them. You can't call that all on them.
It is. It
Dallas
does.
Flowers telling his Achilles is not on the staff, bro.
It's on that
That is
turf.
just something. It's just something you can't control. I'm just saying, like, I want us to be able to be like, injuries wasn't the problem for us this time. We just have a chance. Like, obviously, they're gonna happen to some guys, but just give us a chance. Like, we had the 2021 year where, like, literally everybody was breaking the bone in their foot. Like, we never even heard of the goddamn the injury that was happening in the foot. I forget the damn name.
Like we talked about, bro. It's there's never an off season that we could just sit back, relax, and roll into the season. It's always some sort of contract
Bro, this
holdout
is
drama, quarterback drama, coaching drama. It's always something.
Yeah,
Well,
this
hey,
is literally the first one that
it's
we
the
haven't
first
had with all the
offseason.
drama. As long as we can take care of Michael Pittman Jr.
As long as
And
Irsay
hopefully-
stays out of, TMZ for doing drugs or whatever the hell he did to get in the hospital, we'll be fine. Just keep Irsay out of the media, we'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Drake, I think Flowers was playing really good as well. Hopefully, he's been dunking the basketball and whatnot. Hopefully his injury can heal up real quick and he can get back to competing. We had this conversation a little bit earlier. But yeah, man, it's just one of those things where, like, hopefully we can shake the curse or whatever the hell we got going on to get back to just, having a quiet off season, get to the regular season and hit the ground running so we can win a game in week 1 for once.
Curse of Peyton Manning, dog. Since he left, it's been flat out nuts, man.
We didn't let him stick around. So whatever that is, we can shake that. How about I know there if there's any positions that we haven't discussed or think that we're going in any direction. Obviously, we think quarterback is fine. We know receiver, we're at receiver. But there's offensive line and linebackers. Did either of you guys have any comments on those 2 positions or think that there's any chance that we really look at those?
Ballard might find a guy because that's just what that Ballard does. And I think it's going to be at the linebacker spot because there's always a draft. Damon talked about him like spending, stupid picks at safety. I truly feel like Ballard, if there's a guy there in the 4th or 5th round and he plays linebacker, and he's the best athlete on their board, fully expect Ballard to take him.
Hey, I'll take Glow back.
I'll take Glow back, absolutely, Josh.
I'll take Chris Reed back.
What about you, Damon? Did you have either on linebacker or lineman?
No, because Ballard has showed. I mean, lineman. Yeah. I mean, I'm all for depth. But linebacker, step in, and he looked good in what we gave him. And then Rodney Harrison Jr. I mean, you could call it luck, but I mean, 2 picks in 6 games is fine by me. You know what I mean? For a guy that could probably play 3 or 4 different positions on the defense. So, I mean, I trust Ballard's decisions on linebackers. And if you want to make the argument, linebacker is a lot like tight end in the draft. How many linebackers have you seen taken in the top 15, top 20 pan out?
I don't know if you've ever seen a linebacker taken in the top. I mean, well, I don't mean the defensive end / linebacker position that they do, but actual linebacker.
But for a position that we call the quarterback on defense, you would think to be add emphasis there. So I give Ballard his credit where it's due there in finding top talent that's panned out for us pretty much over. I mean, look at EJ Speed. He could have probably got undrafted or in the later round. He took in the 4th round, and I mean he's been kind of the steady and constant. You know what I mean?
I thought EJ was a 6th round pick.
4th round, 133.
Okay.
Shout out to EJ Speed, by the way, Tarleton State alumni. So yeah, great pickup. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm going with that. So no read, no need.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I didn't really have any on either of those as well, but like Leslie had mentioned as well. I think Ballard will easily take some kind of lineman somewhere. He always does. Finds a little crease in there where we can get a guy. But I did want to comment on this because we had this conversation earlier in the Colts chat. Josh was saying here, bring back Mark Lewinsky. He was recently released today by the New York Giants. And I just thought it was crazy just because it's not that it's anything against Mark Lewinsky specifically. I would take the depth personally. I think Will Fries have shown that he can, step in and be a guy that's pretty solid for us. But I just hate the fact that Colts fans always want a former Colt back. I don't think we need to do this with every player. I'm not saying I don't mean to say you're doing this, Josh, but I just hate the fact that anytime some Colts players release, we always want the guy back. Recently, Colts fans did it with Rocky Sin. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, man, we just gotta let some guys go. They move on, move on to other places, do different things. Every other team does it. I just wanted to get that out there, but I just thought that was funny. But yeah, I take Mark back for the depth, but I think Will Fries is pretty good. Drake Wally is saying here somebody also needs to push Blake Freeland at tackle. Man, he was a revolving door. Went in there 7 games. Got to have the depth at O-line. So Segun Olubi also looked good at linebacker in the Carolina game. Yep, I shouted him out last week.
Okay, hold on. Blake Freeland, he's a rookie. Offensive linemen age like fine wine. They get better.
Mm-hmm.
I was hard on right guard, and he ended up proving me wrong. I do think Freeland will get better with more reps, and he puts on strength because, he's athletic enough. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah. I had that same conversation earlier in a Cole chat that I was saying, like, hey, don't cut out Freeland so soon. Still think there's plenty of time for him. He just needs to develop a little bit more. We said the same thing about Will Fries last year when he was getting his butt kicked. He came in this year and showed that he could play some solid ball. And Drake was saying, and that's right, dude's linebacker is non-first round positional. Zaire is a 7th round pick, and Shaq was a 2nd rounder. Yeah, Ballard just finds those gems. So I just want to get that in there. If there was any other positions that we didn't discuss, to see where that was going.
Zach,
we love
look.
Irsay. Leslie was saying it. Don't talk bad about the pimp called Irsay. We love Irsay. We just know every once in a while he got to take that step back for us and give us a little break, man. He be putting some stresses out on us. Drake Wally is saying we'll see. We'll see. He allowed 7 QB hits and 7 pressures in all the O-line on the Colts games, but that's fair to maybe be too early. Absolutely, yeah. He has some tough spots, but for sure. And Zach doesn't usually give passes, Drake. I'm gonna tell you right now, he usually doesn't. So the fact that he's giving Blake a pass, he'll be hard on him this year if he doesn't.
Absolutely. Like if he comes out and he's cheeks, I'll be the first one to be like, I don't know you, Drake Wally, but you're 1,000% correct. But like, I was all over Fry's ass for most of the year because I was all like, bro, he's terrible. He's a weak link. He's garbage. And then something clicked and he improved. And I kind of feel like Freeland can do that. On another note, I got to get off here though, guys. I got to go take care of business.
Yeah, so, no problem, man. Appreciate everybody for coming in tonight. Shout out to ZTV. Didn't get that in there tonight. Appreciate everybody who came through the comments. Go check us out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever you would like to call it. We do have merch out. Please scan the QR code there to help support us. We appreciate everybody who came through tonight. Go out on YouTube, subscribe, and like, please. We would appreciate that. But for now, everybody have a good night. And as always,
go Colts.
We appreciate you guys tonight, man. For real.